Hey YouTube, welcome back to TCG, and we're doing a little double feature for Lorcana today. Not only do we have a gift set opening that you can find in the description, but we are also going to jump in and do some ladder climbing on Pixelborn, which is a really cool unofficial sim for Lorcana that you can find also in the description. I'll give a little Reddit link. And yeah, it's just been really fun. It's really cool to have an online client because you can sit here and jam some, especially when the game is a little hard to find right now on release, just about a week out. So with that being said, we are going to get into some Amethyst, oops, I'm so sorry, some Amber, Emerald kind of gameplay. I'll give you guys my deck list, and then we will move directly into the just what's going on here. So with the next little bit, I just want to say, hey, I am very close to 5,000 subs. We're about 140 away. So if this is your first time viewing and you want to join the Unix fam, or this is your second, third, fourth, 800th time viewing, you haven't joined yet, this is a great time to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and comment letting you know your thoughts. Past that, do want to say that I will be commentating a Battle Spirit Saga tournament for Bandai tomorrow. Link will be all over my page and socials. And then I'm also going to be going and appearing at New York Comic Con in October as a content creator. So look out for more news about that. With that being said, let's hop over to the deck list and then let's go into the gameplay. Okay, so let's talk about the deck. We've got Amber, Emerald, LoreRush, and we are going to hop into this. We'll start off with the Emerald cards first. So in here, what I've got currently, total 61 out of 60. What happened here? Okay, that was it. Sorry. So, anywho, we've got here is 4 copies of Duke of Wesselton. He is just essentially a 1-cost 2/2, good stats, 1-cost, inkable. That's pretty much it. Flynn Rider, we have got him. He's got Here Comes the Smolder. Whenever this card is challenged, the challenging player chooses and discards a card. So, when he gets attacked, they have to discard something. In the late game, very negligible. In the early game, almost devastating. This guy, seeing 2 of him in the early game will put your opponent at a really gross disparity. Then we got Cheshire Cat, a 0/3 inkable double lore quester, but when it is challenged and banished, you banish the selecting character as well, or the challenging character as well. So no matter what, you have to give something to this guy, or he just keeps turning sideways to get you 2 lore per turn. Very strong. Then you've got Mother's Knows Best. Sometimes you need to stun a card, and that's just going to be the best method of dealing with people. You can put back big bodies that haven't swung yet, especially if they don't have come into play effects, or if they have an effect that protects their whole board, like the Aurora. You can put that back in the hand. There's just a lot of good things here, and it's one of your best little cards in the deck because of the ways you can stun your opponent to get the momentum shift while you're currently cruising into high totals for lore. Then you've got Hans. Hans is just overall a solid card. It's a 4 for a 3/3 that quests for 3 lore. That's really all you need to know about it, just a brick. Then you've got Tinkerbell. She's kind of filler, really. Evasive is very nice because it's going to be hard to challenge her, but the best deck in the game, being Amethyst Ruby, is going to often be able to smoke her through effects, so you got to be careful about that. Ward's definitely the keyword you're looking more for against that deck. But Tinkerbell is evasive, and because of Pixie Dust, you can give something on your board evasive and then swing with it. So you can play her, give something evasive, and swing on something with evasive. And that's actually just where it's at. Then you've got Cusco. Cusco is a house. 5 costs, not inkable unfortunately, but ward, so your opponent can't choose it for anything except to challenge it, except by challenging it. So that means if you play it, you know that it's going to be able to turn sideways once unless your opponent has a widespread board clear, because they can't target it with Dragon's Breath, they can't target it with Maleficent, they can't target it with Mother Knows Best or anything like that. So very good quest for 3 lore. And you got Mad Hatter, Tea Party. Whenever this card is challenged, you may draw a card, and then that is 3 of those. I'm sorry, 3 quests, or lore, wow, questing for 3 lore. But this is very good because a lot of the times your opponent has to swing into it multiple times in order to get it off the field, giving you 1 to 2 draws. If they smoke it with an effect, they smoke it with an effect, but that is generally what it's for. And then I've got, to round out my green, 3 Genie on the Job, because he has evasive, which is just very good outside of facing Ruby. However, he also has Disappear, so when you play him, you can return chosen character to the player's hand. You can recycle come into play effects with Genie's effect from your board, but you can also just, again, tempo swing your opponent with Genie on the Job, so very nice. Then we're going to go over to Amber. Amber has 4 Lilos, which is just pretty no-brainer. A 1 cost, 2 quest lore, 2 lore quester, yeah. And you've got Stitch. He is significantly worse because he only quests for 1 lore. However, he's going to be able to shift into bigger Stitch, which we'll get into later, and he's inkable. You got 4 Be Our Guest. This card is just going to potentially search for more bodies that you can use to get that advantage. Then you got 4 LeFou. LeFou is nothing too special, but a 2 cost 2 lore quester who is able to just do his thing, and he's got 2, so he's not going to get suicided by some 1 pokies, which is very, very good. They were crashed for 2 pokies. Then what you got here is Simba, right? And then Simba, Bodyguard Simba is probably one of your best plays. He's literally going to be your follow-up play to Lilo every time you can. Opening up with Lilo and Simba is just ridiculously good. You play Lilo, and then Lilo's going to survive, hopefully, unless they are playing Steel and are able to blow it up. And then you're able to play Simba, and then Simba is going to be able to go sideways, do the Bodyguard, and that is going to allow you to successfully tap Lilo to go into 2 lore, and then have Simba to protect Lilo to hopefully be able to do it again next turn. In conjunction with that, you've got Rapunzel, because if you end up pulling your cards right, have the right gap, have the right pause, you're going to be able to do that combo, and when Simba takes 2 damage or something, you can then play Rapunzel, and then heal those 2 damage, draw 2 cards, and then be right back at it. Note though that lots of people playing purple will probably have the Rafiki in deck to deal with Lilo Simba, because they'll play a 1-drop, then they'll play a the Rafiki, which has Rush. You'll be able to swing the moment it comes down, and then you'll be able to swing at Simba, kill, banish Simba, because I forgot the friendly words here, banish Simba, and then you'll be able to use whatever you had on board before to attack, or to challenge Lilo. So, those are things. Rapunzel's very, very, very good though. And last but not least, you have Stitch. Stitch is going to be able to come down either for 4 on top of Stitch, the 1-drop, or just for a hard 6. And when it's out, when you play a 1 or 2 drop, you're going to be able to tap it or exert it and immediately draw a card. So the good thing this does is you play it, and if it survives that 1 turn, you can then start doing things like playing a LeFou and tapping it, drawing a card. You wouldn't really want to do that with Lilo because she's very, very, very good at what she does. But you have the cards like Duke, the Duke, you'll be able to put down, the Flynn Riders you'll be able to put down. So anytime you just play a 2-drop or less, you can just exert it, draw a card, and that'll help replenish your hand. So with that being said, let's actually hop into the gameplay, and I'll show you kind of what this deck does. Alright, so seeing the Lilo was already pretty nice. Flynn Rider's good, the 2 BR guests are a little unnecessary, the 2 Hans and Dukes are pretty wild. So realistically, we just gotta put back everything but what can be played in our first couple turns, and oh my gosh, that did not get better. I mean, the second Flynn is pretty decent, but ouch. Yeah, I don't know about this one. It looks like I'm playing somebody that's actually pretty high up. They're sitting at like a 1 in a different league. So let's actually just get into it. Sorry, putting the we're gonna end up putting the unplayable card in the ink while playing Lilo and passing. Sorry, this is gonna be a voiceover because my roommate was definitely watching stuff in the main room where my stuff is. So yeah, inking, letting us know they're playing blue. Develop your brain to set up the cards on their deck and then draw. I don't have a Simba, but they don't have anything on board, so and they're playing blue, so it's a little interesting. Sapphire without Steel doesn't really have like as scary as the board presence that I want to avoid, but this is gonna let me set up some Flynn. So immediately the Flynn goes down there, and we already know what time it is. Fishbone Quill in the ink, so we know this deck is gonna do the ramping, and it is officially confirmed to be Sapphire Ruby. Gaston coming down. This is actually kind of dangerous, and we have no way to protect our Lilo now. So we're gonna keep inkwalling the cards that we can't use because it looks like this is gonna be a very fast deck, and I want to be able to get to Fusca. So we're gonna end up playing out both the Lilo and the Flynn, because the moment Gaston came down, I realized that my momentum is going to be halted pretty badly. Now, this is a bit risky because when doing this, I am banking on drawing inkable cards for the next 2 turns to be able to play out Cusco. Double Gaston. It is getting a little dangerous, and we're going to say goodbye to our Lilo for sure. Another develop your brain. Yep. And as expected, Lilo has to go. So, my turn, I get Stitch, and Stitch will go to the Inkwell. Like I said, we want to be able to play Cusco's on curve. We're going to get rid of that Gaston right then and there. At least have 1 less card to be able to go off. And then we're just going to gain 2 lore. Opponent doesn't have really the best start. I don't necessarily think Sapphire or Ruby is the best color combination, but it's been doing well enough with them unless they just switched it recently. All right, Aura going down into the Inkwell. So, yep, they had to challenge, they had to discard a card, which is good. And now I think that right here, like, while she is nice and all, I think it's just very much so important to make sure we start getting Cusco's on board. We are starting to get into the end game. Once we tap Flynn, we're gonna cruise directly into, sorry, I had to kind of refresh that. We're going to have him go over there because there's no reason to challenge Gaston right now. He's going to have to swing into it and discard a card, and we like that. Then we're going to play a Cusco and pass. At this point, Cusco by himself will put us on a clock because Gaston is likely about to die swinging into Flynn. All right, another charge. Hard decisions with these. Oh, Dragonfire, getting the Flynn out of the way so he doesn't have to discard more cards. Makes sense. Then I get to draw though, and this is where we're gonna start getting a lot worse for him. We're gonna end up playing a second Cusco, and then we are going to end up tapping. Actually, you know what? I think we might let it bang. It's a rough decision because like he can't swing on those Cuscos and they can't be touched. So outside of Be Prepared, which he can't play yet, I'm very safe to just let these guys hang. And if I play Simba, then he's not going to be able to just throw my stuff around. So he ends up playing the Maui and passing. I am getting to a point of very, 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 very bad points for him. This might actually just be ink now because we see the path for game at hand. Both Cuscos can turn sideways to put me up to 18, and then we just play the Stitch and just cruise into game like that. There are only a few things he can do at this point because Be Prepared is going to wipe the board, and Maleficent will wipe the board. Dragonfire, well, sorry, Be Prepared will wipe the board, Maleficent will kill the Stitch. But if you kill the Stitch, but you can't kill the 2 Cuscos, that's a problem too. Luckily, his board can actually clear both Cuscos, but he would need a Dragon's Fire or a Maleficent, and he's only at 7 ink. Yep, be prepared coming off right then and there, so he sacrifices his entire turn. Now, the funny part here is that I can just draw any 2 costs, any 2 lore questing card and win here. It's just got to stick for 1 turn. So he's top decking for his life. Look at that, Dragonfire. I mean, we're both top decking for our lives, but... No, not the Lefu. It looks like, I mean, this is just pretty sad on his end because he has to top deck destruction every single turn not to lose. And I just have to keep opening up bodies. Oh yes, this looks like the end. All right, and the scoop. So yeah, that is what's going on there. Let's move on to the next game. All right, so we opened up, and we're seeing Lilo in opening hand. That's really cool. The LeFou's really cool. This hand has a lot of yeses. I'm gonna end up putting back a little more. And there we go. The double Simba is monstrous. This is going to be a very, very, very good start, especially going first. Once again, you got to ink the cards that you know you won't be using for turns. It's between Rapunzel or Hans. And I think that Hans, I'm just going to feel like I'm going to float into. There's no way to know if my Simbas are going to be surviving soon. So we're just going to play the Lilo and then just chill on it. And my opponent inks a Hans. And so generally green isn't really paired with other colors very much. Emerald is often paired with amber. So as soon as I saw the Hans, I felt like this was gonna be a mirror, and it is. So we draw, we get the Lefu. A little unfortunate because we have 3 Lefus in the hand now. Not a bad card, not the best card, but we're gonna ink it obviously. And this is gonna allow us to hit the Simbis. And immediately go into bodyguard mode. And then just quest for lore with Lilo. Pass, and let's see what he ends up doing. John Silver in the ink. Their own Lilo. Double Lilo. This is going to be a little interesting. We have the hand though. He might have a single swing, but to use those swings, he's gonna have to open up his Lilos for me to attack. That's very dangerous on his part. Now that I know that this is going to be the vibe, I think right now we just expand how many bodies we put out. No matter what, we try to put out 2 bodies. I think that's why I was hesitant. I was at first going to play Lefu and Simba. Or sorry, Lefu and Lilo. But I think now it's just to the point where we need to get some of this stuff off the board. We're up to 5, and then we are going to end up playing, should be Simba. Make sure he cannot go for my Lilo under any circumstances, but also make it known that if he taps his Lilos, he is going to get slapped immediately. So he plays the Cheshire Cat. Very good card. We are essentially playing the mirror. And he's going to have a massive swing of 5 lore. But at this point, he's just opened himself to his entire board getting destroyed. And so we don't really have to worry about it anymore. There we go, there we go. He plays a Cusco after I play my Hans, and we are at a position where he is feeling just a little, like, I think there's a little pressure going on. He had to at least get rid of one of my Simbas. But meanwhile, I'm sitting pretty calmly. Now it's my turn. We are in a great position to cruise into game. He's got Cusco, which is dangerous, but I still have my Lilo. My Simba can still take one more hit, and I've also got Hans able to turn to the side this turn. So our shift, our like swing in lore is just going to be monumental this turn. And this is presenting game. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lore on board potentially next turn, and Cusco can only get rid of one of these things. Cheshire Cat has no attacking value. So yeah, he's kind of a rock and a hard place right now, and it's all about seeing what he is going to do from here. Thinking about it, even if he kills my Simba with Cusco, yeah, there's nothing to do. So there's the scoop. So let's move over to the next game. All right, so looking at this hand, there's a lot that needs to go back because not a lot of this is playable at all in the first couple turns. And as a deck that wants to rush, build momentum, and then cap it off, this is just not the hand we want to keep. So we put a lot back, and it doesn't really make it any better. We would have liked to get a Lilo, but it's only a 1-of, so can't really be too mad about that. All right, so let's see what we are playing against. Kind of hard to figure out what's going down there, but I think the Rapunzel is just as safe as that. Oh, but I opt to do one of the Stitches. That is fair. With Bodyguard in hand, yeah, that could come in handy. So playing at a Stitch and passing, seeing what my opponent's playing. Look, I'm talking to my roommate about something. Okay, so we're playing against Amethyst. Gets the Olaf out. Nothing too big about that one. Draw another unusable card that just really doesn't feel too good right now. So that's unfortunate. Mad Hatter in the ink. Simba in a bodyguard position to be able to protect my Stitch. And at least let's get on the board. Okay. So we've got a Gaston coming out. I'm gonna definitely start challenging all my stuff in a little bit. A little scary, a little scary. But I get a turn back to me because he opts to use Olaf in order to draw. Or sorry, go up on lore. So now we've got to decide what to put in my Inkwell to be able to play more cards. Because we definitely have a curve that we need to reach. Alright, Stitch is added to our Inkwell, and unfortunately we can't fully capitalize off of it, but what we will do is play the Flynn. And yeah, at this point we just start walking everybody over into the lore. Once again, trying to be able to pull ahead. Ah yes, we see Proof of the Aladdin, which is scary because that is a good in-game card. So he either is confident he's going to draw into another one, or he, after playing Aladdin, I have to feel like he is going to definitely have another copy in hand. This is the scary part. So Gaston gets rid of my Simba, and it looks like he's deciding on whether, oh, nope. Okay, he has Olaf go once again towards the lore. Drawing another Rapunzel is sort of annoying, but we'll just use her there. And now we're going to be able to use Rapunzel actually as she's intended. Getting Olaf off the board and then using Rapunzel to heal, or somebody, it might just be him. Anybody have a 3 life? No. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get Olaf off the board. And then we're going to sit here and use Rapunzel, and we're going to heal up Flynn. At least get another draw. Not very consequential, but not many cards in this deck are consequential. They all kind of stack up. The scary part is we're gonna see an Aladdin very soon. Charging another Olaf, playing a Maleficent. Draw an extra card. Very good, very good. Get that guy to our ink to have 5, and now we're gonna hopefully start cooking. All right, putting another card in their inkwell. I have the board advantage for sure, but there's some nasty cards that are gonna come out soon, like that. That is exactly what I did not want to see. It is very, very strong. Killing my Rapunzel and having that swing. All right. And there goes my Simba. Not exactly the best place to be in this situation. We've got a Stitch, and at least Stitch can take out Maleficent, so it's just kind of got to be one of those things. But we are going to use this to bounce back Aladdin, because we just simply don't want Aladdin to shift into bigger Aladdin. So we're going to go up to 8 with Cusco, and then we're going to play out a Lefu. But this is where the game starts turning. This is where we start getting stuck, because you can see I have 1 card to the 5 over on the Amethyst Ruby player side, and that's not a good place to be. Right there, Maui comes out and ends up killing my Cusco. My Cusco will also banish the Maui, but it was still a very effective trade for this. So we played on a Lefu, and we're going to be able to quest with the first one. I think there's actually a little disconnect. Yeah, a little bit of a disconnect. That's my bad. So we're gonna play the Duke and pass. Play out the Aladdin once again. We did bounce it back to hand, so he was going to take 1 lore from us, but like I said, that big Aladdin would have been... It may have been premature to bounce, because he would have been able to get the swing in, and I would have been able to bounce. I don't know. I feel like I stunned him a little bit by bouncing at that moment. But we are trying to push through, and it looks like we have another piece of a lag, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm getting frustrated. But yeah, there we go. There comes the Aladdin. Don't know if I should have waited to see that, because he would have just killed something and then gone off. Or he may have had more to do with his turns, to be honest. So now that Aladdin's there, he's going to sing with it to hit the Be Prepared. And he's in a much better position than I am. Perhaps I should have kept something on or in hand. But yeah, that was particularly rough. So now he's able to banish the entire board, and I'm simply not able to come back. Yeah, I was just checking. I feel like he played Aladdin to get rid of Aladdin, but yes, he did sing. So Befuddle into the Inkwell, a Gaston, me seeing a Lilo, and for here, I think that I'm good to go, right? I'm getting back into the game. I'm gonna keep Simba up so that Simba can protect Lilo when Lilo actually goes in. And wondering if that's the okay play too. Lilo shouldn't really be on the board for much longer than it is her tapping. So I'm wondering if I should have just swung with Simba at this moment. Opponent's thinking an awful lot of time with 3 cards in hand, to be honest. And we get another Maui play. Something in the Inkwell, and then my turn. Okay, this is gonna be where I try to crank it. Again, if I had played Simba down, Simba would have immediately gotten destroyed. And then, of course, right then and there, we get our Hans destroyed. All right, then we draw a Mother Knows Best, and that was a blink that we can't do anything with. And he's gonna creep up with the Lore. And we draw a Tinkerbell. Gaston and the Inkwell, and we're both kind of top decking right now, but his field is very, very strong for board clear. The only thing though is that he cannot play anything. Well, he can't really quest. His Maleficent is getting him cards, but he can't really quest. So I'm going to get that there, and then I'm going to activate Be My Guest. Now, the thing here is, I didn't know how to click draw. So I'm sitting here trying to reorganize my cards, right? Like, which one goes to hand, which one does what. And I was like, oh, there's a button called draw. So I'm gonna click draw. And then I didn't get a chance to confirm because the time ran out. So I missed my opportunity to pick up something. And he's gonna draw. And he's gonna play Maleficent. Oh, he's gonna ink Maleficent. Play Maleficent. So, yeah, I think that's where I messed up. I didn't even think I lost that one. I think I just didn't pick up. Woo! Yep, so we're gonna play Lilo, and Lilo is gonna get smoked too. Yeah, right then and there I can see it. I lost that game because I didn't know how to add the card to my hand. And that's unfortunate because I think right now he actually just gets to... Oh wait, no, I won that one. I'm so silly. I was been thinking about another one. Look guys, let's actually head into the closing. My apologies. The amount of Amethyst rubies I've played has been astounding, and I think I just kind of got a little confused. So with that being said, that is my first gameplay video for Lorcana. If you have a deck you want me to play, just put it in the comments and I'll see about crafting it and testing it and seeing how I feel. But I'm just gonna be climbing the ladder and seeing what's up. So thank you guys for watching. Like I said, if you haven't already, this is the perfect time to hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment, let me know which decks you like to play, which cards you like, what you like about Lorcana so far, and I will keep pumping out the content. So thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video.